Hi there, we're going to talk today about working through addition and subtraction with three-digit numbers. And when we're doing that, we're going to be working with some problems that are addition and some that are subtraction, which means we have to be really careful and notice the sign, the math sign that's telling us what we need to do. Because we have to remember, because not every problem is going to do the same thing. Sometimes you might get like 5 problems from your teacher to do and they're all going to be adding. So it's really easy to remember just you're adding. You don't have to keep remembering it. But when you get mixed addition and subtraction problems with regrouping, it would be sad if you started down a problem and you were adding the whole thing and then at the end you noticed there was a subtraction sign. You'd have to erase and start all over again, and that just stinks. So we want to really pay attention to the signs because we need to be able to flip back and forth between regrouping with addition and subtraction and notice that sign every time. Be accurate and correct in our work with our regrouping, and that's a lot of things to keep track of when you're doing a worksheet. And the reason we want to be able to do that is because you may need to add or subtract in the real world, and you might have to add something first and then subtract, and you might have to regroup in both places. Maybe you're trying to figure out if you have enough money to buy the 3 different things that you want at the store, or if you, then you're going to get a check for mowing somebody's lawn, and so once you add that money to it, will that be enough? So should you buy the things now, or should you wait and buy them later? Those are real life things that you're going to have to decide with math, and that's why we practice them on worksheets. Okay, so you're ready for that when that real life moment comes up. Make sure you have enough money so you don't get in trouble by not having enough money. Okay, let's take a look at this. So we've got a problem like this. And this is a very simple thing we can do to help us remember what math we're doing. And that's just to circle that math sign, okay? So then and the other thing is to talk out your problem. So as I'm working a problem, it's important to say and talk about what you're doing. Okay, I like to have you draw math pictures because that shows me your thinking, your math thinking. But another thing to do is to talk it out, okay? When you're talking it out and you're saying what's happening in the problem, 34 plus 38, when your voice and your brain hear you say plus, your hand then knows it's adding and you won't make as many mistakes. If you just are looking and not talking it through in your brain, and I like to hear it out loud, teachers like to hear it out loud, and your moms and dads need to ask you to say it out loud, you're practicing explaining your understanding, but also you're hearing yourself read the problem. And when you hear yourself read the problem, you can avoid a lot of mistakes. Okay, so if I've got 34 plus 38, talking it through would sound like this. I've got 3 10s and 4 1s, and I'm going to add 3 10s and 8 1s. I know that 8 and 4 is going to be more than 10 because 8 is partnered with 2 to make 10. So I've got 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I know that 12 has 1 10 and 2 1s, and I know this is the 1s column. So I'm going to put the 2 down here, and I know the 1 10 needs to go over here in the 10 spot. Now I'm going to say my problem again on the 10 side, 3 10s plus 3 10s plus 1 10, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 10s. So my total is 72. Okay, do you see how I talked this out? 8 plus 10, did the math, talked out where I was going to put each digit so that I put them in the correct spot, in the 10 spot or the 1 spot. And then when I switched, when I was done with the 1 side and I went over to the 10 side, I still talked about 10s, and I made sure I talked about the adding sign to help myself not make any mistakes. Okay? Now let's go over to a subtraction problem where we might have regrouping. And actually, I'm going to change this problem to another color. I can see that green's kind of hard to see on the video, so I'm going to change it to a darker color. There we go. Okay, again, I'm going to circle my operation. That's telling me what kind of math I'm doing. If I see subtraction, I know I've got a whole, a group, and I'm going to be taking some of the group away. And I want to know how much will be left after I take this many away. Okay? So I'm going to find, I know this part, I'm trying to find a missing part. Okay? Now, let's talk it out. I've got 2 1s, take away 8 1s. that won't work because I don't have 8, I only have 2. So I know I'm going to have to regroup. Sometimes I'll write yes, that I'm going to regroup, and then I'll say how many times I'm going to have to regroup. So I know I'm going to have to regroup here. Now come over here, 5 tens, take away 3 tens. If I have 5, you can come and take 3 from me, that'll work. So I'm only going to have to ungroup 1 time over here. Okay? What I need is to get more tens so that I can subtract, so I have a bigger number on top, and so I can take 8 away. So I've got to have more than 8 up here. So in order to get more ones, I'm going to take 1 10 away from this side. That will leave me with 4 tens over here. And I'm going to take that 10 and put it over on the one side. So I've got 2 ones right now, but I'm going to add 10 more. 2 plus 10 is 12 ones. Okay? Now I should be able to subtract. 12 ones take away 8 ones leaves, let's grab the little guy and count up, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4 ones. 4 tens take away 3 tens leaves 1 10. So my total is 14. Okay? You notice I had to regroup here and I had to ungroup here. Okay, so I had to do that work that we've been practicing. If this is tricky to switch back and forth, you can always go back to your math pictures. There's no shame in doing a math picture before you do the other work. So you can have 34, 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 38. I like to have him be a new color. 10, 20, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. I try and find my 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And I put them in a group. Now I count all my tens first because they're my biggest, or they're my biggest value. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, free, 71, 72. So I could also do it that way first. I can see that I took my ones and joined them together to get a new group of 10. There's my new group of 10 and put it into my problem. Same thing over here. I could have 52, 10, 20, 30, 40, 52. And I want to take away 38, 10, 20, 30, 31, 32. Uh-oh, I don't have enough, so I got to break this guy into tens. There he is, broken into tens. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38. Let's count who's left. 1 whole 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And it matches my proof picture, and I can see what I did. I broke a 10 and turned it into ones. So I had a total of 10, 11, 12 ones, and 10, 20, 30, 40, 4 tens, and then I took 38 from that. And the missing part was 14.